Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. And yes, welcome back for the John Farnham series. So this is part 3. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about the 1980 to 1985. So let me give a little brief what's going on. So from 1980 to 85 will be about his time doing the Uncovered album all the way to his departure with LRB. So let's kick off the video, shall we? To revive John's career, saying within the potential what he wants to do with his career, there has been a lot of convincing and dinner plans. And to sign a record deal for Glenn Wheatley, John had accepted that management proposal. After so many convincing, John had decided to work with Wheatley Organization, and he signed that record label on the 1st of January 1980. However, Glenn had tried his best to talk with other major record labels, but none of them took a chance on John seriously, as making a full potential album as John can enjoy making. With from Glenn's suggestions that Graham Goebel from Little River Band can produce an upcoming album for John, and that would be Uncovered. The album was released July 1980, and went gold, selling 55,000 copies, and made everyone think twice about John Farnham, if he still had the voice, as it became John's top 10 hit nationally. That track is the Beatles cover, Help. It was a hit after he performed live on television for the Royal Command Spectacular. Originally, the producers of the show wants him to perform Solitaire, but after that performance ended up stealing the show. The new John Farnham was a hit. The nation loved Help, and people were raving. Then, a few months later, the biggest compliment came by the Beatles themselves, Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Paul said he liked Farnham's arrangement, while Lennon's opinion says he doesn't like it because Lennon said the song's supposed to be a ballad. After a positive reaction of the new Farnham, he liked the new Lays of Life. He was no longer called Johnny Farnham. The one was washed up cabaret singer to a newly positioned John Farnham with decent songs under his belt. John is ready to take the album on tour with his new band. Tom Emanuel said, "We decided to take the album on the road." So right in the middle of the Uncovered tour, John had decided thinking to record another album for a follow-up to Uncovered. So he began working on new tracks for that album. We spent few months writing and trying to get the new album organized, but that album never came into fruition. Alright, that is about Uncovered. So before we move on about LRB, Little River Band, I want to show you guys, like I said in the part 1 video, I mentioned about John's memorabilia, and I have so many vinyl, CDs, everything. So let me show you what I got. So the first thing I got is the original CD from the album Uncovered. So it's an incredible album though. But I think this is the original, because I got it from the Then Again album. I think it's called John Farnham, Then Again, and More. It's from the Talk of the Town, I think it's from the Talk of the Town souvenir. Not only I have the CD, I have the vinyl. The vinyl looks freaking amazing though. And I think the reason why I bought it because I just randomly saw it and I was like, I'll take it. And I think this is I don't think it's the remastered. I think it's the remastered, but. And then, oh my gosh, the CD looks like, not the CD, the vinyl looks freaking incredible. And you have so many records off the album. So, this is number 1, and you have number 2. So in the first one, you have all the songs here, like She Says to Me, Jilly's song, Infatuation, and then you have here, you got Help, Please Don't Ask Me, and it was the other one. Oh, She's Everywhere. There are some really good records off the albums. And then the next thing before we move on, before I'm going to talk about Little River Band, I have their first album with John called The Net. And yeah, the album The Net seems pretty good, to be honest. And incredible hits in here. So we got We Too, No More Tears, and one of my total favorites, Down on the Border. You got Fallen, Easy Money, and The Net. So let's take it out. Woo! Look at that. Look at that beauty. Woo wee! And then in the back, you have the lyrics. And this looks freaking awesome, to be honest. And as you opened up, there's the record. And this is by Capitol Records. So yeah, you have all the songs here, including their first hit with John called Down on the Border. And then you have the second side of the record. And yeah, this is The Net. I have a LRB, the Definitive Collection. You have so many songs off their own hits. And I think this came out like 2002? Yes, look like it came out in 2002. And like I said, we have We Too, Down on the Border, then you have The Other Guy, and Playing to Win. And we all know Playing to Win because that is one of the most famous songs and also one of the songs every concert that John ever performed. So, yeah. You got the songs there. And yeah. And that is it for the John Farnham and the Little River Band haul. And so let's continue the video, shall we? In 1982, LRB was top in their peak for the last 7 years, but it was top to the point that the band had enough with each other from their last album, Time Exposure, made Glenn Shorrock, the original lead singer for LRB, to take a break and focuses on his own solo career. So Graham Goebel had an idea that John Farnham would be perfect for a replacement for Glenn, after he worked with John for the Uncovered album. As of around that time, LRB was under fire, also by John's perspective, by why would a 33-year-old from a solo artist to join a rock band so late in his career. So John joined the band February 2nd, 1981, and held a meeting and getting a lot of convincing, which was them having an agreement as they wanted John Farnham as a new lead singer. With John joining the band, they were already recorded their next album, The Net. Was the first album, although it has mostly been written before John even joined. The album The Net came out May 1983. The single off the album, Down on the Border, was the first single released by the new Little River Band, and it came as the top 10 Australian hit. As for the new album, that will be the next album, that would be Playing to Win. John said the next record is going to shock a lot of people. When John was with LRB, when they did their first US tour with Farnham, people were surprised and some were shocked and not too pleased about John joined Little River Band. But the Los Angeles Times dubbed him Hurricane Farnham until it got pretty worse. John haven't got paid from joining or even recording the albums with LRB, but after 4 years giving his best shot, John decided to leave the band and trying his luck again as a solo performer. John has learned so much as an entertainer and also how to top big arena concert tours. So during the LRB period, John is still in a financial problems, so Glenn struck the deal with independent label in the States, Curb Records. John had recorded 10 songs which would be for 5 movie soundtracks. John would work for 18 hours a day for each sessions, and John flew himself from Australia to LA, flying for 17 hours and starts working around 10 or 11 p.m. before the deadline comes in. But at least everything turns out great. Until the following year, that will be the toughest year for Jack. So that is it for part 3 in the John Farnham series. So hope you stay safe, everyone, and take care of yourselves, and see you next time on the next video.